Welcome to Synthetic Oil Protection. I'm your host, Eben, and today we're back with Steven, the guy that did all this stuff at AMCO Transmission, and he's an expert on transmissions. But today we're talking about AMSOIL two-stroke Dominator. This is the race stuff, and we're on a race bike.
Yep, 2001 Yamaha Banshee.
2001 Yamaha Banshee. Well, let's kick it off. If this is your first time to the channel, definitely consider subscribing for a lot of important information on protecting your vehicle. Alright, so today we're talking about the Dominator Race Oil, and Steven is our expert with these race machines. Tell us a little bit about this beauty.
Well, it started life as a stock 2001 Yamaha Banshee, 350cc twin-cylinder two-stroke.
Alright.
I had some issues with transmission shifting and a little low on the compression, so to fix the transmission you got to tear it all apart. So it's like, well, screw it, might as well build it how I want to. And
so question, Steven, tell us what mix ratio do you run the Dominator? What mix ratio?
I run it a 32-to-1, so it's 4 ounces per gallon of gas. I mix 5 gallons at a time, so it's 20 ounces of fuel, or not oil, 20 ounces of oil.
All right,
Monday.
It's Monday and it's 110 degrees out. So I can't believe he's alive. He's actually been working on cars and transmissions for about 13 hours today, something like that.
Not that much, but
all right.
maybe 9.
He doesn't want to take credit for how much he worked. But so what race gas do we use here, Steven? What is this?
Well, what
Tell
you're
us about
sitting
the
on
race
there
gas.
is a VP 110 leaded gasoline.
All right.
I was running that for a while. I did switch back to Sunoco 110 just because it's cheaper. I can buy it out of the pump. This stuff's $60+ a barrel.
Wow.
I can spend $35 if I go find a pump.
And this is the stuff, the leaded stuff gives you brain damage, right?
If that's what you want to call it.
All right. That's why they discontinued it, I think.
I don't know. It smells good, so.
It does. It does. It does.
But it's necessary with the RPMs and the compression that this bike runs. If I want to make the power, I gotta pay to play.
All right. So what all did you have done to it?
Well, it's pretty much new from the ground up. I had the transmission pro modded, had to replace a couple gears and a shaft. It's got a brand new Strucker crankshaft in it. It's got a CP Industries serval cub cylinder on it, Weisco forged pistons.
What's the
aluminum,
CCs? The CCs?
421 cc.
All right, so it's a little bigger than stock.
So it went from 350 to 421.
All right.
It's got the cool head on it with the interchangeable dome, so I can change my compression ratio on the fly without having to do any machining or anything like that.
Wow.
Oversized radiator. And here shortly, putting on the new Sniper Racing exhaust system. I'm waiting 4 months for that.
So now, what did you use before this, and why did you switch?
I was running Redline Racing for the longest time in both, or not both, but my Yamaha as well as my large-scale RCs that run gasoline two-stroke mix. I had good luck with it, but when I have to pay anywhere between $80 and $100 a gallon, it kind of gets really tired of it really quick. With my preferred customer
This is
discount.
about half. Price difference. What was one of the things you were mentioning about price, this compared to Redline?
It ends up being about a third, depending on where I could purchase the Redline from. That's anywhere from $80 to $100 a gallon for the Redline, whether it be online or at a local motorcycle shop here.
Wow.
So cut that in third. So
you might be wondering how Steven gets his AMSOIL products. He's a wholesale account. It's like a preferred customer membership, and you just get all the products at wholesale. And what are you holding there, Steven?
this is the AMSOIL Mudslinger. It's a new product, if I'm not mistaken. It's for protecting the plastics on the bike here. Maybe I can give you some before and after pictures of it being dirty and clean. But that stuff really protects the plastics from the sunlight, and it makes this bike shine like new, and it's almost a 20-year-old machine.
All right, so this is 20 years old, and I'm going to go ahead and finger this a little bit. Look how soft, supple, pliable all these plastics are, and how often do you spray it with the Mudslinger?
After after every ride, I wash the bike, and after every wash, I treat the plastic. So if I ride 3 times a month, it gets treated 3 times a month. It's always cleaned up, shined up, and put away until the next ride.
Beautiful. All right, let's take a look at these pipes. So some of the differences between this and the other oils is the film strength, and that's what keeps the metal separated, protects your pistons, cams, your cylinder liners, also your rings. And this has a lot of additives in it for extra horsepower, modifiers, and it also keeps your rings from sticking. So really helps with smoothness and operation, and that's what makes it different from the other 2-stroke additives. So I have one of the old pipes, and this is the new one.
Yeah, this is one of the new Sniper Racing in-frame drag pipes. This is a Toomey T5. That is a great pipe that performs very well. It's just a little too small for what I want to do. So you can see here, I got this bazooka of a pipe here. Hopefully give me another 15 horsepower or so out of this machine. I'm a wrap.
All right. Steven's going over some old parts on this bike. Let's take a look at it. So what do we got?
So here we got the right cylinder. This is your intake. This is your reed cage would sit here, and then your carburetor would be here. Air and fuel get drawn in through here. As your piston goes up, it'll clear these windows, and then your air and fuel gets drawn into the crankcase, being a 2-stroke. And then the air and fuel gets pushed through these updrafts or transfer ports, and right here is where it comes out into the top of the combustion chamber. And then up here would be your the cylinder head seals here. You got your water jackets, and then this is your exhaust port. You can see.
And this is all liquid cooled.
Yeah, this is all water cooled.
And how much? What's the total displacement of the water that goes in this?
I think it's only about 2.5 quarts. But this is the old cylinder head. This motor did have a rough life. It had a needle bearing come apart at some point, and it chewed up the head. And this cylinder, it had a rod broke evidently, and it took a big old smack out of the iron sleeve, and it's cracked right there from getting hit.
Wow.
And here's one of the pistons. So there's not a whole, there's some minor scuffing. I mean, I've seen a lot worse. This motor was running when I took it apart, although it did have a relatively low compression. And that's pretty much the top end of a Banshee motor.
And what's that?
That's another piston out of the other side. That's a carbon buildup from, who knows how many hours worth of run time.
What is this here, Steven?
This is the old engine case for the Banshee. So here you got your 2-cylinder banks. Not cylinder banks, bank of cylinders I should say. You got your left and right. Down here's your crankshaft.
Wow.
And then this guy didn't have a very good day at one point. And over here would be your crank drive gear and all of your clutching and stuff. So this is where your clutch system would be set up. Your shift drum goes in here. You got your trans input shaft, your output shaft, and a bearing rides here. And then all the rest of the business happens.
And all those bearings,
here.
Are they all lubricated by the 2-stroke oil?
No, this from here, from this section forward, is only in here is lubricated by the 2-stroke.
All right.
So it's just the crank bearings,
all right,
and the wrist pin bearings and the pistons and the cylinders.
All right.
There's a seal here. So this side has your transmission fluid, whether it be motor oil, ATF, whatever the bike calls for, or you choose to run.
And what do you choose to run?
I actually
for your trans?
I run ATF in my trans because I work in a trans shop and I get it for free. And then this is just a water pipe.
So the trans fluid you use is regular multi-vehicle ATF.
It's a multi-vehicle full synthetic.
It's not the fuel efficient like Honda.
It's not
fuel
not
efficient.
like the fuel efficient or the.
All right. So you do have the option of running the AMSOIL ATF, which is the multi-vehicle, and that one has extra additives, and that allows it to hold up better under high heat, about double the interval of severe service. So if you have like a truck that you can go 30,000 miles on severe, you can go 60,000, but you definitely want to change your trans filter because, as Steven knows, the clutch material. right?
Yeah, the more abuse you put on a transmission, it just breaks down the heat, and as your fluid breaks down due to heat, as the fluid breaks down, it runs hotter. Clutches start to hate life, and yeah, pretty much for layman's terms.
Oh, and if you're new to the channel, definitely subscribe and tap the notification bell. You'll be able to come back and see a lot of these videos as I publish them throughout the week. And also on Thursday night, we have a live video where Jeff and we answer all your questions about your vehicles. So if you have any questions, Thursday Night Live, 6:15 p.m. Las Vegas time, we do an hour live video. So definitely would love to see you there. You can ask any questions, comments. All right, so if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. Also, feel free to reach out to Steven. You'll see a lot of other videos in the playlist where we did a lot of work on his vehicles. And, well, that pretty much sums it up. We'll see you back next time on Synthetic Oil Protection. Cheers to protection, protection, protection.